featured garage vlog. In this episode of the V8 Swapped Supra Drift build, we finally put the rear suspension components on the subframe so that it can go back in the car. First things first, we need to install solid subframe bushings for Part Shop Max. You don't actually have to freeze them like I did. They'll still go in easily without freezing them. With those in place, we can now install the differential. Now for my least favorite part of this entire build, removing and installing bushings. Since it is not feasible to put the knuckle in a press, I had to burn and cut to remove the bushing and sleeve for the camber link. And I used a Fitment arm puller to remove the bushing for the traction link. The upper control arms simply require destruction of the bushings for removal. I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for this, but I absolutely could not get the cotton reel bushings in. So I cut them into 2 pieces and marked the inside with a paint marker since my shitty cuts now made them keyed to each other. Even then, I couldn't get the bushings in, so I had to decrease the size of the outer diameter so that I could push them in. Is it haggard? Probably. But desperate times call for desperate measures. With all the new bushings in place, I can finally install the battle version links that took a month and a half to get here. Would you look at that? Too bad these components won't be seen when the car is on track.
All the small things, true care, truth brings. I'll take one lift, your ride, best trip. Always, I know you'll be at my show, watching, waiting, commiserating. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off. Carry me home. Home. Carry me home.
Fuck. Okay, so this has been apart for a while now, and I kind of forgot how everything went together. But, I assumed the bushings went in this way, and these cool little plates, and held everything in. But they don't, and these actually go this way. Sorry, bad camera work. This is wrong. Obviously, this lip goes here, to hold the subframe in. And I found another link for these bushings, and they call them subframe risers. So the subframe goes up, they don't call them bushings. And then it all just kind of clicked and made sense in my head. So, I'm stupid. Now I have to pull this out and push the bushings out and flip them upside down. God, I don't want to do this. Okay, it's a new day. I've done some thinking and some research. But there's virtually no information on this kind of setup because nobody's dumb enough to build a Mark III Supra. So I'm going to flip the bushings back around the way I had them initially. And I think the correct way to do this is to use some sort of epoxy when installing them. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put them in, and it's not like the subframe's just going to slip out of the car, right? I mean, should be fine. Only time it could do that is if the car is jacked up, and even then, it's not just going to fall out, so... Right? Right, guys? Is that correct?
If you don't understand what is happening, then allow me to explain. I thought I had the bushings in upside down, but after talking with Parts Shop Max, I did have it correct initially. So I put the bushings back in that way. With all of that taken care of, we can finally install the rear shocks. I'm using BC Racing's BR Series Coilovers. Now we can throw a wheel on and get a feel for how things are looking. I'm not too sure about the suspension geometry with the car slammed on its nuts like this, as the ball joint in the upper control arm appears to be at its limit. I'll have to do some more research to see what I can do about that. And no, I don't want to raise the ride height. That's fucking lame. I still need to address the front suspension and potentially do some work to increase steering angle. There isn't a thriving aftermarket for Mark III Supra front-end suspension components, but I might have found a company that is getting into making components for this chassis. More to follow on what happens up front. That's it for this episode. Be sure to check out featuredgarage.com for rad grassroots automotive articles. You can catch us around the web at Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Until next time.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilistic